Hello and welcome to another episode of Malt Magic and More, where the siege of River's End is finally over because we ran away. And obviously we've got more answers, more questions than answers even. My mind is blown. Let's start the After the Show. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, mind absolutely.
I'll tell you what,
That was
a long
awesome
rest.
on Monday.
A long rest has never felt so good.
Oh man, amazing.
I think that is the most. I was very, very tempted to give you all a point of exhaustion at some point towards the end there.
Yeah.
But
It's four fights.
just about.
Oh, three.
Yep.
3 or 4.
Well, you got the bridge,
Yeah, bridge.
the city.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it was 3 fights. You technically missed the 4th because you all went through.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, if you want to split it out, the top of the town.
We kind of had
still
2 fights on the
two,
bridge though.
Then you had.
Well, technically, you had 3 waves on the bridge,
Yeah.
Yeah.
1 fight in the city,
Yeah.
the Shadow Court, and then the Stillman. But it was all in close proximity, so I'm only counting them as single encounters. But yeah, it was that was intense.
So when you actually put it that way, we did really fucking well. Not
Oh, yeah.
to actually die.
I'm amazed nobody's dead.
Yeah. I mean,
Because the Stillman was level 20 and we were going in there with no spell
Yeah.
slots. With basically we were going in there without Kirik.
yeah. I mean, we you know, forgive me for the sort of the analogy or the connection, but we were very much Captain America with a piece of his shield in his arm, going, "I can do this all day." To a Thanos, who was absolutely.
Oh yeah, you were waiting. You were waiting for the reverse snap at that point. Yeah.
You know, we were literally.
And
like,
we took on the court without Othred and Feltag.
Yeah.
We took
Well,
on the vampire
took on-
lords without them.
Part of the court.
Yeah. Just
If you
got rid
remember
of
when
the
you
main
entered into
Hell
that.
end though, didn't we?
So, just out
Yeah,
of
but-
interest, and I know that D&D doesn't really, go this way, but Matt, had you, I use this word very, very loosely, but intended us to go up against the Stillman first?
No. The Stillman was
Yeah, but-
always going to be the final fight there.
Ooh.
Whether it was at the top or one down. It was always a case of you were going to fight the Stillman at some point, and it was going to be that. Well, I say at some point, you were always going to fight the Stillman last.
Yeah. All right. So I was like, I mean, we would have literally got up the stairs after, let's say, after killing him, and literally like crawl upstairs and then be like, no, I'm out of here.
I hate running away from fights because I always think, oh, we can do this. We just need some rolls to go our way. But when he started healing 70 odd at a time, I was like, no way, this is happening. No way.
Well,
Yeah, we just
40 or
didn't
50
didn't
time,
have the
not including heal.
we just didn't have the damage output at that point.
Yeah.
No.
And the Stillman used 4 spell slots, technically.
Oh.
So he used
Oh,
all his
he's not-
resistances, a couple of legendary actions.
So legendary actions
And it-
reset each round.
Yeah.
So he's got 3 legendary actions per round, and he had 4 legendary resistances.
We burned through them, which was impressive.
He did burn through them pretty quickly.
That was impressive. For those who were burning them up.
Mainly
it was
because my rolls were fucking garbage for those saves.
impressive. True.
But also every time he uses the sword, if he hits, he heals as well. Deals necrotic damage and heals
Yeah.
up that necrotic damage as well. I think you probably picked up on
Yeah,
that.
we picked up on that one. Yeah.
That sword is badass, by the way.
I only had it like at its infancy. It's now like in its final form, almost, which is mad.
Yeah, it's not quite the same as as Matt Mercer's version of a vestige, which we have sort of used and tweaked in our game. It's not quite at that level, but it is a fucking badass sword. It's got its own history and all those sorts of things.
And we all need to remind ourselves that this is Kirik's fault.
You know what? I was thinking that like during the fight, because I was thinking like, yeah, Kirik's like kicking himself for this. It's very much like he had the sword and he knew that. Like the only reason why I threw away the sword is because I didn't want any of us to get corrupted. I was like pretty confident of myself, but it was at a weird time where like there was weird stuff happening with Anders. So it was like I'm not sure. So it's very much like I think he definitely feels like it's his fault to a degree, which is interesting to think
if you
about.
think back to when that was in the campaign, the characters have grown.
That was like 50 sessions ago.
Exponentially, that was.
Yeah, it was like 20.
It was more than 50 sessions ago. That was.
Yeah, it was like 15
ridiculous.
or 20 episodes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time
Yeah, it was the first
It
time.
was one of the first times Kirik met the Malt Masters.
Malt Masters. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, like Simi, where Danny, the Ander died. You know, it was it was like episode 13 or 14 or something stupid.
Bloody hell.
Yeah,
it was like a year ago.
And with the Stillman being an artificer, the sword's badass anyway. Has he also tinkered with it?
Could do.
Slightly, maybe.
We also don't know what his subclass is, which is fun.
Yeah.
Loads of stuff.
You might have studied at the same place as your Christmas one-shot character. Can't remember his name.
Is that canon?
Is it the same universe?
Oh god.
Is it like when? Is it? Do we have to buy Fox? Is that what we have to do to make it part of our universe?
No spoilers for that film whatsoever.
I do like the idea of like a level 3 enemy finding a hand axe on the floor, lobbing it at someone, shooting towards them, and then be like, "Oh, that's brilliant."
Gonna be fighting like a ghoul with the hand axe later on.
We have no idea where that hand axe has gone now, nor the javelin, to be fair.
And 2+2 daggers at the window, literally.
Yes.
Yep.
They were really good while I had them. They were really good. I thought they were,
It's the sort of thing that when you get the opportunity to use that Misty Step, it really is really helpful.
But hey,
Now it's gone.
it opens up an attunement slot for you.
It does. And do you know what?
That's true.
Yeah. However, I had a brief millisecond moment when I thought, now then, how delayed can I use my bonus action? Until I realised that it was only if you hit, and I did not intend to hit the floor with it. Therefore, I cannot say that I'm halfway through the Stillman's fight on my knees and then just go and just end up somewhere in River's End.
Yeah.
I think there's also a range on that Misty Step, though.
Oh, very good point, actually.
So
Yeah,
I don't think you
it's
would have
gotta
been able
be
to Misty Step to the hand axe anyway.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It'd have to
Even
be
if you
the
had
range that
intended
you
to
can
hit the
throw
floor.
it is the range you can teleport.
I
Or
think that
Misty Step
it's
Yeah.
restricted to the Misty
Teleport
Step
up to 30
spell.
feet.
The
Yeah.
spell's 30 feet or 60.
Yeah, 30 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell you what, if you've got an attunement slot, I've got some items that I can't attune to. If you want an Ioun Stone of Intellect for your troubles,
I mean,
or a Flame Tongue Rapier.
oh no, I can't dual wield, can I? Not with Tim Mills Rapid.
Actually, I might have to think about that.
You
know.
can. Sorry, you don't have the dual wield feat, do you?
I have the ability to dual wield.
You have the ability for 2-weapon fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Do you think
Not
I will
quite.
need
The dual
to?
weapon feat allows you to not suffer the penalty on your second attack on your offhand strike.
Yeah, but every character can dual wield technically, as long as they have
Technically.
and as long as they're light weapons. I think.
2 weapon
Dual
fighting.
wield allows it not to be light.
Yeah,
weapons.
so because we were working out,
Walk
there's-
around with
there's-
two great axes.
There's like versatile and something else.
Versatile and light.
Light,
Versatile?
yeah.
So what is versatile?
So versatile allows it to be one or two-handed. Light means you can have a weapon in each hand.
Sorry, versatile and finesse. So what's the difference between those
Yeah.
two?
I think finesse means you
use
can
your
attack
dex.
with strength or dex.
Like rapiers.
Yep.
Oh, so I've actually been able to do 2 weapon fighting.
Hence why I like rapiers.
With the awakened Timiel's Wrath, and I didn't realise. I could have sworn we were
Well,
talking about.
Yeah, I
the
think
fact that-
Timiel's Wrath is only a longsword, isn't it?
yeah. I could have sworn that we discussed the fact that I couldn't for some reason. I don't know why.
No, I think you've had Timiel's Wrath and the Blink Hand Axe in either hand at any one point. You've just not used 2 weapon fighting.
Well, to
Yeah.
be honest,
So,
Dave,
yeah.
you'll have had a shield in one hand and Tibial's Wrath in another hand before, so
For most of the time,
of
yeah.
course. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
same thing, kind of.
Okay. Well,
So,
it hasn't made
speaking
a
of
difference than I
attunements, if we're going to Mountaineer and potentially finding more undead fiends, do I actually need to think about my attunements? Would a flame tongue rapier be useful?
I tell you what, I might also do if I've lost that is I
Potentially.
might also get rid of my shield. I have not used my shield for any of its uses at all. Apart from its immunity to cold, which again I haven't really.
Well,
It
we've
might be
been to
chilly
the
in
north,
Mountaineer,
so
Yeah, we are going to the north again though.
Is a flame tongue rapier helpful against vampires?
fire. I mean, yeah, fire's good.
Duh, duh, duh.
What is it that stops them rebuilding their health on the
Radiant.
Radiant.
You want a
And
radiant?
Kirik, pretty much. As I
Kirik,
said,
yeah.
MVP
Kirik is
of
vampire kryptonite.
last week's episode.
Just cast Sunbeam and they can't do shit because they're going to be
Burnt
in
through
sunlight
the
all the time.
bastards. Literally burnt through the bastards. I was there
I have
thinking, oh, they can
picked-
turn for mist form, we can have them back in a few episodes, or maybe in another arc, but no, just
They're all in sunlight.
luckily I've
Doesn't-
got another
doesn't-
13 vampires to play with, so
It's all right.
And I do think I have peaked though with my achievements. I can't get rid of the cloak of darkness, really, can I? And like, so that's got turn invisible, alter self, and all that stuff. The dagger is my actual up close melee weapon, and I can blind people with it, and it can warn me of enemies. Can't really. That's what I'd have to swap for the flame tongue rapier. But I don't know if Shank would be happy about that, because then I've got the loot, which gives me the fly, the cure wounds, the bark skin, the levitate, all of those extra spells.
Let me know. You can take on a flame tongue rapier if you like.
give you a bit more versatility in battle, I guess, if then you could choose to use your bow or the rapier.
It'll do
No
more
one can make that
damage
decision but you, really.
than Moonblade, because I'd have the 2d6 fire damage on top of it. I just, though, where I want to... Well, I'm talking myself in circles, because where I actually want to go with the character, I want to try and take on a feat rather than an ability score improvement when I get there, eventually. But to do that, I've got to use the dagger a lot for it to make sense. Because essentially what I want to get to, I'll spoiler it, I want the assassinate feat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes sense to like go up behind people. Obviously I'm sneak attacking at the minute but just go up behind people and do that extra damage. It doesn't stack with the sneak attack, so it's one or the other.
Just
But-
whisper finale.
Well, that
I
would
was
also
just gonna
make
say,
sense.
Every time it's going to have to be a.
It makes sense because Theo Godin had
Amazing.
that particular feat.
Hey.
The Dark Eladrin had the assassinate feat.
I didn't even do that on purpose, so that's quite a handy coincidence.
Oh, you've got to do it now. You've
I'd
got to do it
forgotten
now.
that. Yeah, there we go.
I think I only managed to
So-
use that once as well with you lot.
So I need to be stabby with the Moonblade. So I could donate the rapier to the cause. And they
I
could
was
take
going
it
to
to
say,
the
that
Fenrir
you haven't
Forest
got
with them.
to hoard magic items if you don't want them. There's
No.
plenty of NPCs you can give them to. You can go sell them. It's whatever you want to do at the end of the day.
I mean,
It's
bearing
what's
in mind
most
that we
effective
managed
for
to,
you as a
like-
character.
Yeah, we managed to like trade a lot of magical items for a good number of magical items. You know, we did really well out of our last
Yep.
trip and didn't have to actually part with
So-
much coin.
It might be handy in Matinee as a peace offering. But then again, I've kept an urn of dwarf remains and an amulet of Moradin because it's good to give peace offerings to dwarfs or something along them lines, isn't it? So,
I make peace. Here's the remains of one of your ancestors.
well, yeah, they're mistrusting, aren't they? So it's like
So you're going to present them with a corpse.
Well, basically, what the plan is, I'm going to go. I found these remains. I thought I'd bring them back to a resting place that befits the warrior he was. So I've kept the urn safe. I don't know who he is or what he was. All I know is he deserves a proper burial or something along them lines. Butter him up a bit, and I'll hopefully get him on side.
I was going to say, if you
'Cause I'm not
just
expecting a warm
rewatch
welcome.
the episode that you've just said there, Danny, write it down and then actually say that when we get there. You good?
Yeah. What'll actually happen is I'll be like, here's a dead bloke, and I'll trip and I'll chuck the ashes in his face. Shit.
Oh, that's going to be brilliant.
Oh man.
Do you think Moradin, we're going to get the sort of welcome? It's not going to be a warm welcome. It's going to be. Do you think it'll be a Deluin-esque type welcome?
Do you mean Mantineer, not Moradin?
Fucking hell. Yeah, I do mean Mantineer.
Don't know, actually.
Moradin's a deity.
Let's go
Mantineer,
visit
so-
Moradin. Fuck it. Let's go find him.
At this point.
Yeah, okay, good luck getting to that plane.
What did you say, Samal? Sorry.
Yeah, I was just saying it probably is not going to be that warm. Yeah, I just keep thinking like because it's probably going to be, they're probably going to have their own shit going on, and then they're going to be stressful or distrustful. It's just like, oh.
Didn't them two go this way?
Such a swat. You know that inspiration I gave you?
I think they did. I mean, there was talk
so
of them.
Well, not that you guys know that, but the post-credit scene, if you like, the stinger, Remley turned that way and started heading that way, whereas Gindris fucked off to the north somewhere.
The north.
You just go
Winter is coming.
Actually, if my dagger glows, we've had the next dawn now, so I'll need to pick a new creature for it to alert us to. If it goes off with a dragon, it might end up being Gindris.
Yeah.
Well, at least you'll now know when you're in the presence of a fucking dragon, at least.
Yeah. So I might need to pick a new creature.
And don't have
So I
to
might
wait
say, if we
4
get-
sessions and then be like, I'm just going to use this ability of my armor and see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, he's right next to you. Brilliant. Because if we're going to
Still one of my
Matinee, and it's the
favourite
same type of enemies, I could pick ghasts, ghouls, fiends as we approach Matinee, couldn't I? Either or.
Or undead in general. Just
Can you
undead.
specify
Yep.
mimics, please?
Could do mimics. Haven't seen one in a while.
No, we haven't.
Good.
That we know
Let's
of,
keep it that way.
obviously.
Mimics are
Walk straight
fairly... not to take away from mimics, but they're fairly low-level monsters as well.
Have you seen the wall ones?
Shh.
The ones from the plane of the mimics that they shared. It was like, what are you doing? The
Yeah,
whole
that's
plane
new
of
shit
mimics.
that they've not actually fucking released yet, is it? So
It's ridiculous.
it is ridiculous.
Just the
Fucking
community
plane of
just
the mimics.
talking back and just going, why do you hate us?
Oh.
Plane of mimics.
I am on that note. I am still annoyed that the new new rule book, the Multiverse of or Monsters of the Multiverse. I always say Multi-Footed Madness. Then that was something totally different. Monsters of the Multiverse is not being released on its own for a while yet. It's only being released as a bundle, physical bundle with Tasha's, Xanathar, and I think that's it. I think those are the 3 that are being put together. That is really irritating as a DM.
Is that what is being considered as sort of a 0.5 to what we've got at the moment, or is that something different? I can't remember.
No, the
It's not really a 0.5.
new D&D or whatever they called it, new D&D.
Isn't that like 2025?
Oh wow.
Advanced or something like that. Yes, 2025 is when they mentioned it.
2025.
I think
but no,
it's
this is laying the groundwork for that.
Yes.
But this is so the Monsters and the Multiverse piece is basically they're redoing most of the monsters that have appeared in the core source books, and streamlining things like spell trees, so you've not got to worry about how many spell slots and shit there are and stuff like that, and just making it easier to run monsters. Because it is quite a fucking clusterfuck these days to try and think, okay, I've got to track this, I've got to track that, I've got to track this, that, and the other, just to get monsters to work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, from what I've
There'll be a
seen,
few rule tweaks.
they really have simplified most things. Which is cool.
It's good. It'll really streamline combat, hopefully.
Yeah. Yep. Oh boy, oh boy. Back to the north we go.
How,
They're friendly up
right,
north, though.
How do we want to dethrone Lord Carthwad?
Erendriel Mirror.
We can take his crown off of his body along with his head.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think we're going to get the chance to, because whatever has just attacked Failiad, it's going to make its way west. Like, they're next.
I think he'll
This is
already
what
be dead.
This is what we were trying to tell him, was that it's not going to stop a Failiad, it's going to come. And when it comes, you'll be alone. And he,
wouldn't it be some
chose to
sort of
be alone,
justice
so.
if he comes back, please help, and we're like, yeah, sure, and then just lob him in prison?
oh,
Yeah,
sure,
we'll help
but
your
you
people, but
resign
not
your
you, you
kingdom
prick.
after that.
Well, yeah. Or we go, yeah, we'll help you if you step down.
Yeah. That's the thing is, though, he's going to get spit roasted
Oh,
from the
yeah.
west and the east then, isn't he?
Take him to the Isle of the Dead, and this is Sparta kick him down the fucking pit.
Okay, that's the new number one.
How
Anyone
do you-
else got any better?
But to the Isle of the Dead and leave him with a sword, and then paddle back.
I think you should turn. I think you should go
3 days
full
rest.
bear and eat him. You should go full bear
Sorry?
and eat him. Dargon. Yeah, that's the
Fucking
plan.
revenant him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think
So this fucker's
when
not gonna
I said to Lena, oh, don't worry about it anyway, all thrones will be rescinded when I take mine, I don't think she was happy about that.
Yeah, I think you might have, touched.
She kind of went, yeah, you do you, but then I think she was there, actually, yeah, all right.
I mean, yeah, if you go to a king and you say, when I am like king of this whole thing, you might not be king, depends on what I feel like. It's like, not sure I want you to be emperor in this case.
Why are we helping you? Yeah.
Well, actually, that's a good point. She could still be a queen. I would then have to be whatever's above that. So, Sith Lord or whatever.
He's going to turn that
Emperor.
flame tongue rapier into a full-on lightsaber.
Is Emperor above King and Queen?
Yeah.
Or is that just...
No,
It's just different.
it's different.
No.
Yeah. So kings and queens are in charge of kingdoms, and then technically an emperor owns an empire, but an emperor could also be a king or a queen. Hence, our queen, the Queen of England, is also an empress, effectively,
And we
of
all
whatever
know,
remains of the fucking British Empire, which is the Commonwealth now.
I was going to say, and we all know who runs a country.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I...
Did we just get political
Okay.
on this stream? Sorry.
No, we didn't.
Slapped it.
We're talking about me. We're talking about Ander. Yeah, because I was just trying to think, is there a way for me to be supreme ruler and then they could still be kings of their little bit, which is basically a
I mean,
posh way of
at
saying
the
they're
end
lords.
of the day, when Ander, or if Ander ever becomes king of Nylin, it is up to him how he structures his kingdom, really, isn't it?
Oh,
And
no.
also whether he wants the rest of the areas to.
It's going to end
rebel.
up being like it's going to be like America, and there'll be like senators and shit. It's all going to go terribly wrong.
I can just see Ander reinstating Prima Noctua for everyone.
To be fair though, when I take the throne, there's not going to be much left. Or I'll be
Yeah,
I'll
you're
be
gonna-
literally
you're gonna
sitting
Throne
on
you
a
fucking
throne.
claim, really, doesn't it? You've got
And
two,
and
at least
and
three,
gonna
at least to
spend-
claim now.
And he's going to spend the rest of his life just rebuilding Nile.
So if
Not
we've
gonna be
got
as
to destroy
charming
to
as
save
he-
it, I'll literally just put a throne on top of the pile of rubble that is Nylin and just laugh. That's how campaign 1 ends. Just fades to black. Me sitting on a pile of rubble
Just finds a
Gaze
wooden
upon my
chair.
kingdom and despair.
Here I am.
with like a Christmas cracker crown hat on.
Yeah, but whatever wooden chair you find, then post credits we see is the big bad.
Turns into a mimic and eats Ander.
Or the post-credit scene is like decades later where I've rebuilt Nylin and it's flourishing. Or you just see a glimpse of the big bad from campaign 2 in the distance.
You've got to get to campaign 2 first, is all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Let's close this one out.
I suppose I mean you said that. I mean it's really easy if we just fight badly.
I mean, you can all just fucking jump off a cliff and be like, we're done!
We could kamikaze campaign 1 if we wanted to get to campaign 2, but no.
No, don't want to do it. Too invested.
No.
Absolutely not. Please don't ruin my
Disgusting.
campaign this far in.
Just cast Dawn above ourselves. That's it. Stays there now.
Raven Queen take the wheel type job.
Oh, we
Amazing.
could just, instead of going to Mountain Dew, we'll just go to the Black City and be done with it. Take them on.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys
Yeah, we
can
don't-
literally go anywhere you want right now.
We did well
That's
with
the
level
problem,
20
too much
character.
choice.
I think going and fighting 5 or 6 will be great. Very, very easy.
Oh yeah,
Did
let's
you
go.
just use a
Let's just
Matrix
go
quote?
find all the gods.
The problem is choice.
It's just, yes.
Go
Problem is
find the
choice.
gods. It's not a bad idea.
We'll take on.
If you
take
can
on
find 'em.
Baal, take on Asmodeus, Asmodeus, however you want to say it. Do that. Oh, we need to talk about Feltag and the Wild Mother
Wondered when you were going to get there.
Wild
Yes, Melora,
Mother.
because we were wondering who
Melora.
was in 1-4. So
Which is an
if he
interesting
remembers,
implication.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't think it was going to be her. But also, if he remembers
Who did you
everything,
think it was
he's
gonna be?
potentially. I thought it was going to be. I don't know, to be honest, Matt. I don't know the days well enough to.
No, I think.
So you've only met one of the Warforged.
I was going to say we thought it was actually going to be possibly the deity of the dwarves for some reason.
Moradin.
Of the...
Yeah,
Moradin of the dwarves.
Oh, okay.
Didn't we? I think.
I think
know
we
why,
pondered that at
because
one
we literally
point.
got from hammer to metal.
Yeah,
that
we-
was like the simplest connection.
Yeah, we talked about
I
that.
mean, the
I think
last-
we mentioned the Lopera. Was that one? Yeah, I think we talked about them as well. But yeah, Moradin would be a shout. But Melora is an interesting one because Warforged have got the wooden bits. So, it's interesting.
If he remembers
So
everything,
the
though,
last
he's potentially
Warforged
got a lot
you
to tell.
fought was in the arena.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
called.
Yes, Feltag has potentially got a fuck ton to tell you.
If we ask him the right questions, which I
I
don't know
still-
what they would be.
I
Oh, I'm doing a Simao now. I've now got iRobot quotes popping out of my mind. My responses are limited. You must answer the right questions.
What a film.
Fucking love that film.
can dream.
Because we don't want to. We don't. He'll know about the destruction of Nyland. We don't need to know about that. We know how that happened.
Yes, but I think.
What do we need to know?
I swear he knows something about the city under Loch Esamir, and I don't know why I think that.
I think you're right.
Yeah, our Atlantis.
That rings a bell.
Yeah.
That rings a bell.
It's still bugging me. I still want to get there.
Right, I'm gonna write that down because we'll just leave him behind and not ask him anything.
Well,
Hey, we didn't leave him behind this time.
Yeah, I did. I was going to say I like Kirik on Monday. Which we're not leaving you behind this time. Get out.
Why
I
did
was
you have to
half
remind him
expecting that to take the tower out before I had chance to. So
Ooh, who took it out? Was it Stillman?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I think it is, but if that's the case, if he could just like do that, he could have done that to us at any point
Yeah, he's level 20.
in the fight. Just cleaved us in half.
yeah, just for the viewers at home, I revealed that it was level 20 after the fight in the break on Monday. Just so you're all not wondering when the fuck did that get revealed?
Yes, that's a good.
There.
In the break.
Yeah, that context is helpful. Yeah.
It is. So yeah, he was level 20, or is level 20, because he's still alive. Very much alive.
Damn it.
Very.
So if he's slowly becoming more humanoid, his snout's going in. Is he taking on the form of Baal?
Yeah, that was my theory, is that he's becoming some form of avatar, which makes sense because isn't Baal like... Isn't he imprisoned or something? Wasn't that something...
Well, if the person is... whoever is trapped in the blade must be slowly just
That's it.
taking over Stillman's body.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trapped wizard.
Which
is... it a wizard?
Yes.
In your...
Oh boy, that's going back.
I mean, that's a completely different notebook for me. I don't even know where that notebook is.
Digitize your notes, guys. It's easier to search on one.
The thing is, right, I used to type them up after every week, and then I got so far behind, it's like, it's too far gone now.
I put in like a day, a month, just to go through my notes and like, okay, we'll type everything up from here.
Yes, that's the town.
We need
I love
commercial
how we're
music.
literally
while,
sitting
Simone.
waiting for some out. Yeah,
Yeah.
we need that elevator
you
music.
did your legend
The first time Kirik met the Malt Masters was on session 17.
Yep.
So I was about right on that.
Fucking
15 for when you
hell.
went to see me then.
Banished Wizard.
It's only 60 episodes.
Blade seeks the. Oh, Blade seeks blood to emerge fiend. That's
Oh,
a
good.
fun note.
So was that be why your Eyes of the Grave showed the weird around him then?
Once the blade of a fiend, who's the banished wizard, the fiend's from the Shadowfell. Thank you.
It's,
and that's
how
pretty
long
much-
did it take to get there? But we got there.
Pretty much it.
I'd already closed the sound effect window, so I had to open it up again, and I was like, no!
And
So
then I
there's
just
a
have a note
fiend.
underneath. I just have a note underneath that just saying fire and blood, and I can't remember what that's from. But that's session 18, so we can go back and watch
I
it.
love those notes. You're gonna have to do what I do and go back to those episodes where you've written something random on the episode, and you're just, okay, what was that from?
Yep.
This is what the podcast and YouTube are for.
Was Fire and Blood just the name of the episode? Was that your episode naming idea?
Fire and blood. I feel like that's a. I feel like it might have been a
It's
random
also
quote. Yeah, might have just
I
been
feel
a
like
reference.
it's either
that I
a
wrote
Game
down.
of Thrones book or a Hunger Games.
Yeah, Fire and Blood. Fire and
movie
Blood
name.
definitely feels like a Game of Thrones thing.
That's Fire and Ice, though, isn't it? So
Yeah.
we might actually see the
Definitely
final
something.
book at some point.
Definitely.
Nah.
something. Well, Fire and Blood is actually another book. No, Fire and Blood is a book from Game of Thrones. The most recent one? No.
It's a song of
I think
Fire and Ice,
Cholesterol
isn't
will
it?
get George
The whole
R. R.
series.
Martin before he finishes the book.
No. Wow, this is being a nerd alert. Fire and Blood is actually the book. It's actually the book that George R. R. Martin wrote about the history of the Targaryens.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Targaryens, isn't it?
Because that's the prequel that's coming out. So,
Wow.
fucking hell, we were there.
Fire and Blood is the name of an
Were
episode
there?
in Game of Thrones. There you go.
Holy shit!
And it's also the words of the Targaryen house.
And also, what happens to me after a Vindaloo?
Yes.
I love it. This is why I don't eat Vindaloos. I avoid the fire of
No,
blood.
I can't do that. Madras, Jalfrezi, I'm not going to go above that because I will turn inside out the next morning.
I was about to say, I don't think I'd be able to.
Oh no, I have
Jalfrezi.
witnessed Samau eat a Vindaloo and come out the other side not sweating at all.
That's ridiculous. I cannot handle spice and I cannot handle cheese, and my brother wants to, pass me a cheese-filled jalapeno and see what happens.
That just sounds like your
Take
brother's
cover!
got it in for you.
Yeah, it's just like,
That's an intestinal grenade waiting to happen.
it's like I don't ever want to know what happens.
Yeah. No, I really like my food spicy.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I can't do it. Oh man. Right. Anyway, on that note, because you're making me hungry.
Oh no, before we go, I'm going to have to show the viewers my last thing, which is my... Shit.
It's not. What are you going to do?
Shit.
Have you got trousers on?
I would get.
We're not getting to that
Yeah.
stage. I finally, as a DM, taken up the latest hobby of... And it's weird, the black has now gone blue, but we're finally painting minis.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, look at that.
So yeah,
So beautiful.
when eventually we get to the point where we are doing live games, at some point we're getting a Titan Warforged.
Yeah.
Or Warforged Titan.
You can tell. You can tell your wife goes to bed early.
Why?
You just have a lot of. You got a lot of hobbies.
Mate, I sit there and do this while we're watching TV in an evening, to be honest.
Yeah.
I haven't got that many hobbies. It's
yeah,
D&D drawing and painting now.
I was going to say, I mean, I'm not the type of person, I can't just watch telly now. I have to, unless it's a brand new film. Other than that, I've got to be doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Idle
play of the
hands and all
millennial,
that.
though, isn't it?
I'm a fidget.
I just
Well,
play with
I
my.
can't-
I'll either.
No.
Yeah, I do have a flick sometimes. No, I wasn't going to go. I wasn't going to say testicles. I was going to say my phone.
It's just waiting for it, mate.
You were
That's,
like-
that's the
I like how
reputation
you
you
just-
carry.
You just assume, and you're like, no, before you even finish that sentence. So I was actually just going to say TikTok
Yeah.
or Instagram.
Yeah, TikTok, we'll get on that.
I know the perfect clip.
We,
I know
we already
it's
do
1 hour,
reels
18
anyway. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but we just need to get them on TikTok now. We just need to grow our following. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to think of a TikTok to do?
This is why I thought we'd double team it and we can all have a go. Well, Dave apparently has got it down, so we'll just hand the TikTok account to Dave. Job
Oh, no,
done.
not me. I wouldn't have a clue. I just like, if you see, it's more the thing of don't think about it, just do it. Just,
What I usually do for the reels, I'll find one that I think is funny, and then I'm like, how can I make that a D&D one? And then make it a D&D one. But there is a woman who I follow. I forgot her @ now, so sorry. You obviously won't know who I am from anyway, so it doesn't matter. She does really good D&D reels, but she actually does the cosplay as well. So like funny
You're not on about
barbarians
Ginny D,
interacting
are
with
you? Or Ginny
bats.
Di?
No, I will
Ginny D is
find
like
it
the
now.
queen of D&D cosplay at the minute.
yeah. And there is a brilliant guy. I believe he does TikToks. I watch him on the YouTube Shorts, and it's when he's doing like how each class will save someone, and it's like a barbarian runs in, grabs the person, swipes, and then runs out. Then you've got the wizard who runs in, taps the person, dies of 1d4 damage. Then you've got the bard who comes in and goes, "I'll save you," and just cleaves the person out with their crotch. It's so funny. It's just brilliant. Different types of
Because
stuff
I think
like
the
that.
king of D&D TikTok is Dice Cream Sandwich currently, isn't it?
I have no
LED
idea.
and D is her name.
Nice.
LED&D. There you go.
really
We'll go
good.
check. Yeah, well, LED&D is about to get a lot more followers.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Oh no, that's a bad one.
Love how you were literally just about to
come
Sing
on, it's
Moana
good,
there, mate.
It's good. It's good film. It's good film.
I have an
my
excuse to watch
daughter's movie.
Moana. I have a 4-year-old. What's your excuse, Dave?
4-year-old and a 2-year-old.
It's a good film.
I was gonna say I'm a child. So
It's
good
a
film.
classic. Actually, to be fair, I did watch Encanto, which is a really good
that as
movie.
well. Yeah,
We watched that the
Ron's
weekend.
Gone
It's pretty good.
Wrong. Ron's
Not
Gone
watched
Wrong
that
is
one yet.
fucking hilarious.
I haven't seen that.
I actually had to make Willow watch that one because she didn't want to watch it.
Had to make my child watch it so I could watch it.
She liked it by the time 20 minutes in. She was like, "Okay, this is good." I was like, "You're welcome."
I'm still trying to get my eldest to watch Shrek 3. We've watched Shrek 1 and 2, or we're missing 3. And I'm like, we just need to finish the series now.
Yeah,
Just wrap it up.
third. You say that.
Yeah,
We're
that
still
is-
4 and 5 then. It's
I know.
5.
We'll get there.
There's
Yeah,
5.
the fifth one's not. Fifth one's
Oh
not
yeah, no, I
great,
do remember
to be
the fifth
honest.
one. Oh yeah, no. Okay.
There are 5 Shrek films.
Yes, no, I have watched them all. I just forgot because it's been so long since watching them.
There's all the shorts as well.
I was about to say the Halloween short was quite funny.
The Halloween one, the Christmas one. Anyway, we massively digress.
We do.
Yes.
So, as
Well,
it's
Daniel
good.
randomly hits a dice roll on D&D Beyond, there we'll probably finish off. Oh, guys, thank you very much for tuning in for another episode of Not Magic and Ball, where we have digressed in very random, ways and multiple times. But I hope you have enjoyed our discussion of the end of our 4-part siege. I am very much looking forward to where we are going to be going next, and God knows where, because we get sidetracked very, very easily, as you can just tell. Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in, and if you'd like to, give us a follow. If you can, give us a subscribe on Twitch, subscribe and like on YouTube, and if you're listening on the podcast, do please give us a rating. We really do appreciate it. So thank you very much for tuning in tonight, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. See ya.